Okay, back with a new project. Been a long time since I posted on this channel, so I got a new boat last year. It is a Sea Ray 250 Sundancer, and it's a 1987. I found nothing on YouTube about an 87 Sea Ray Sundancer 250. Has a single 350 Mercruiser in it, like 260 horsepower. This one I have has a few issues, but probably the most interesting one for me right now that I've found nothing on YouTube that would work as slick, as far as I think, for a boat like this, is the air conditioning. Now, it's a relatively small boat, does not have a generator built in, doesn't have built-in air. You couldn't get built-in air in a 250, maybe in a 268, but not a 250. But I want air conditioning in the boat, and I want it to work when we're underway. We're not going to sleep over in this boat. This is a day boat. We want to go out for the day and have a cool cabin that we can go and cool off in. So I'll show you what I've got in mind here. So we're up in the cockpit now. The helm's right here, and you'll see what is in the back of the boat, other than a bunch of seeds off of trees. Got a decent area back here to be. There's seating for, I think 3 across the back, 2 right here like Sea Ray does at the helm, and then there's 2 more seats behind this. You've got seating for anywhere between 5 and 7 in the cockpit. Now down in the cabin is the issue. Now the main thing is comfort. We want to be able to go out for the whole day, have a place where we can stay cool, and have a washroom to use, sink to wash our hands and stuff. We're not going to be cooking on here, I don't think. And I don't think we'll be using the fridge either, because it just doesn't make sense. We don't have shore power on our lake. So, but I do have a generator that I'm going to go over, and that's what's going to power the AC and any other AC stuff that we want to run. So we'll take a little tour down into the cabin here. This is typical Sea Ray, how it works. Push this forward here. Now I'm 6'5", so I'm a pretty big, and I'm not exactly skinny either, but I can pretty much stand up down here once I get down here. So you can see where we're starting off here. Here is the unit we're going to use right here. It is a 5500 BTU, which I figure will hopefully be enough, but it's also the only one that will run on the small generator I got, and that's honestly the most important thing. So I've got my front cushion out right now, and I'm modifying that to hold this. And where this is going to go is right up here. I'll show you later, and it'll make sense. And in these Sea Ray boats, there's this mirror right here. And where that goes is into the anchor locker. And of course there's a hatch right above the anchor locker. So my idea is to route the exhaust from the air conditioner directly out into this chamber, into the anchor locker. And then when we're going to use it, just open the hatch. And there's our exhaust going straight out. So this mirror is going to have to go, but I've got a pine board I'm going to cut to fit this same size. Route a hole in it for the air conditioner attachment vent to go, and then it'll just sit on the back of the air conditioner. I'm going to fasten it so it won't move, of course. It's going to sit right here. It's going to vent right out here and blow air all the way back through the whole cabin. It's going to mean we lose essentially 1 seat right at the very front, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. And it sure beats trying to route hoses, all the way out back there or something. Like, in order to get it big enough, you'd have to go almost all the way back there, and all your heat's coming back into the room at that point. So this doesn't involve going through the roof anywhere in here. This doesn't involve one of those hatch units. I didn't want a hatch unit. I want something that's fixed, that I can just run and not have to worry about it leaking. I just want something easy peasy. If it breaks, we just replace it cheap, and it's a quick setup and just an easy process. So I'll go show you what I'm going to do with this cushion. So here is my bow cushion. So what I've done here is I pulled the fabric back, and then I cut a piece of foam out the right size to make a little wooden frame just to hold the bottom of the air conditioner in. I'm going to strap it down also and try to make that as attractive as possible, but this is just a little frame that will hold the bottom of the air conditioner so it can't roll anywhere. And then, keeping in mind, this is only the very tip in the front of the boat. We're losing a spot about 20 inches this way by about 13 this way, and that's it. We still have the rest of this entire cushion. And then of course over here there's also cushions that come back there, and then back there, and then the table goes here. It's not that heavy at all. It's just extremely awkward, especially when you're standing on a rickety little ladder. I forget how I got this out here. Perhaps I should have made a note of that. So here we got this front part in now. There's where our air conditioner is going to go. So let's put it in and see how it looks. Okay, so here's our rough-in installation. The way it's going to sit up in the bow. Now the tricky part's going to be doing that plate behind it and getting the pipe through it. It's quite tight, but I do believe it will work. Okay, now I've taken my mirror and I've cut my piece of pine to match it. And I've carefully moved over, measured and moved these hinges. So the plan is to, hopefully these will line up. I'm going to go and put this on. And then from the other side, from the anchor locker, I'm going to trace where the hole is. And then I want to measure how far on center from these hinges the center of the vent needs to be. So this here is going to go up against the wall. So this is the inside part that'll be against the front. So four of the bolt will be this way. So I'm going to mount this in here, this way, and I can screw it flat to the wood. This still needs to be staying. I just put 2 screws in it just to mount it, to mock it up. Then I'm going to go outside and reach through the anchor locker and trace the inside of this hole here. So I see how much room I've got from top to bottom. And then I'm going to put the hole in the center, I believe. If you look in the anchor locker, you should be able to see that piece that we cut. And I'm just going to trace that, and then I'll know where it is from the back side of the board, so I'm not cutting into somewhere I can't cut through. So I've got this where it fits the inside of the boat perfectly. I've got the hinges on it and everything test fit. It works great. I've got the hole cut in it, and I've got it. It's not super pretty at all. Like, it's not even a little bit pretty, but it's going to work just fine. I can fit the whole thing through here that needs to go through here, and then I'm just going to put a little piece of trim on the inside because there is a little bit extra there, but I needed that to get the round part through. You'll see. I wasn't going to try and measure exactly how to cut the round part because I'm just not good at that. This way, I know it's going to work and I can make it, you know, not pretty, but passable. Here's my finished panel. This is the inside. And again, I made a mistake there and I accidentally drilled those holes through, but we'll touch that up. So this is the inside that's going to hook up to the air conditioner. It's going to hang on the front just like the mirror did. And this here will go into the anchor locker and divert the air up and out the hole. It's on here just like the mirror was. Opens up like this and you can see into the anchor locker there. And that's where the air is going to go out. It goes through this little diverter here to push it upwards. And that seems to fit quite well. So now it's just a matter of putting it up here and getting it all fit in. I actually had to move this way a little bit because I couldn't get the pipe to go in an S here. I thought that might be an issue, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway. We moved this up, lost about 4 more inches of room, but there's still enough room to sit here on this part, and still have the air conditioner and a little bit of storage behind it. Okay, so now we got to get this installed on here, and I've cut one pipe short in order to do this. That is nicely screwed in there now, and I want to take this end, do the same thing. This is really tricky, these darn things. Now's the moment of truth. Fits in the holder, that's good. I got to carefully kind of undo this to get it in. Oh, it's in. And it's under a little bit of tension pushing down on it. Not bad, but enough to certainly hold that nicely shut. Yeah, so it's in. And now we try it out. Now I should mention, of course, this is a day boat for us. We're not going to be staying overnight on this, I don't think. So this does take a little bit out of the front cushion here. However, it's really not that much. There's enough room that even I can lean up against this wall here and put my feet all the way to the end of the bow. And my wife can actually lie down in here all the way with with a pillow with her head down here and her feet down there. No problem. And still have this table here if we want and still have the air conditioner. You can also put your feet all the way across and lie down. There's plenty of room for that. But for us, we're not on a lake where there's even shore power, so we're just using this as a day boat. And if we really wanted to spend the night, we'd probably spend it in the aft cabin anyway. I don't know. I think spending a night is going to be a bigger boat, but this is sort of a test for us to see how it goes. And if everybody likes it, someday I would love to have a real cruiser that we can go and spend a weekend on. So it's a hot day today. It's about 30 degrees Celsius, so it's about 85, I think, 80, 85 Fahrenheit, and is good and hot. Like, I let it go all day with the sun on the boat to get it kind of as hot in here as it's going to get. And then I plugged the air conditioner in, turned it on. About 10 minutes, you notice a real difference. And about 15 minutes later, it's nice and cool in here. So I'm more than happy with that. The little generator will run this, no problem. I could have gotten away with a little bigger air conditioner if I got a soft start thing for it, but I actually wanted to get one, but they weren't available. They were all out of stock. So now they have finally come back in. I'm considering getting one just so I can run my generator on eco mode, but we'll see. Bottom line is we got air conditioning. It's working extremely well. I expect it'll do better in the water than it is out here. So if you've got one of these Sea Rays that doesn't have built-in air conditioning or can't get it, and you want to have kind of a fairly quick and easy and inexpensive way to air condition it, and you're not planning on sleeping in the V-berth, or at least not two people sleeping in the V-berth. It's nice and neat and tidy. The installation doesn't look that bad, all things considered. It's great, and it's going to do the job. If you've got a boat like this is something to consider, and you might want to give it a shot. Anyway, thanks so much for watching as always, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you again.